So now when we add exponents into the mix, you're still following an order of operations, guys. So when we're using exponent rules, that still is in effect or in play. So like, even though we've got some like multiplying with parentheses, you still have to take care of parentheses and exponents before you do any kind of multiplying. But for number 9, no multiplying, just everything raised to that 0 power. So I kind of know already that it's going to equal 1, but even if you did distribute that exponent in there, you would get 5 to the 0 power times x to the 0 power. Both of those would be 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So anything raised to that 0 power is going to equal the value 1. So for number 11, we've got x to the 5th squared. So you can think about it in expanded form too, guys, because x to the 5th, 5 x's, times another x to the 5th. How many x's do you have? 5 times 2, 10. So you can think about it that way also. All right, for number 13, m squared r w to the negative 4th raised to the negative 3rd. So I can put a little power of 1 with my r there, but we need to distribute that negative 3rd into every single variable in there. Like, I know it's all squished together, but they're all technically their own separate thing. So m squared to the negative 3rd. M to the negative 6th. 1 times negative 3. R to the negative 3rd. Negative 4 times negative 3. W to the 12th. So we need to fix those terms with that negative exponent. So we are simply going to move them to the denominator. So w to the 12th stays right where it is, and we are moving m and r to the denominator. The whole purpose of that is to make those exponents positive. So don't put them in the denominator and then leave them negative. Like, the purpose of moving them and fixing them is to put that in the denominator and make those exponents positive. All right, let's do, before we go down there, let's do 10, 12, and 14. So again, anything to the 0 power equals 1. So this 2x to the 0 power, that is 1, equals equivalent to 1. So you got 3. Anything to the 0 power equals 1. If you need to multiply it with something else, then okay. But the part raised to the 0 power equals 1. All right, for number 12, we got a w and a y in there. You can put in a little power of 1 in there, but 1 times 4 gives you w to the 4th. 3 times 4 gives you y to the 12th. All right, number 14. So again, before you do any multiplying, you need to do your exponents first. So we need to get what x to the 4th squared is first, then we can do our multiplying. So x to the 4th squared is going to be x to the 8th. 4 times 2. Now, if you want to put a coefficient of 1 there, have at it, but now you can multiply. Okay, negative 5 times 1. Multiply those guys together. X to the 3rd times x to the 8th. How many x's are you going to end up with? Add them up. So same thing with 15. This has to be first. Then you can multiply. So 4y to the 5th is just hanging out there for right now. And we are going to distribute the 3 in there to the 2 and the y. So this becomes 2 to the 3rd, y to the 4th, raised to the 3rd power, going to get a total y to the 12th. All right, evaluate, get what 2 to the 3rd equals. 2 to the 3rd is 8. Now you guys can multiply. So 4 times 8, y to the 5th times y to the 12th y to the 17th power. (16) Have to get each of these separately before you can try to multiply anything. So 3y squared, distribute that in there to both. So 3 squared, 2 times 2y to the 4th, times 2 to the 3rd, y to the 3rd. All right. Evaluate or get the numbers so that you guys can multiply them together, those coefficients. So 3 squared will be 9, y to the 4th, times 2 cubed is 8, y to the 3rd. 9 times 8 is 72, total of 7y's, 4 plus 3. So these exponent rules aren't bad when they're just them by themselves. It's just when you start to get multiple exponent rules happening in the same problem. So let's do 17 and 18 yet, quick. So 3, the w, and the y are all getting this negative squared power. You're distributing in there to every single base, every single term. So this is going to come 3 to the negative 2nd. 6 times negative 2w to the negative 12th. Negative 2 times negative 2y to the 4th. Both of those terms with a negative exponent need to be fixed and moved to the denominator to make them positive. Positive exponents. 3 to the negative 2nd is not negative 9. It's not negative 6. You need to move it to the denominator. So we're going to keep y to the 4th. And we're going to move 3 squared to the denominator and w to the negative 12th to the denominator to make it positive then. Get what 3 squared is. 3 squared, 3 times 3, 9. And number 18, same thing. 5, y, x, all get that 3rd power. So 5 to the 3rd, 3 times 3, y to the 9th, negative 4 times 3, x to the negative 12th. Fix, move, make positive that exponent, so that needs moved. So that will now be in your denominator. And then just get what 5 to the 3rd is. And all we're doing for that, guys, is just typing 5 to the 3rd in your calculator. Or 5 times 5, whatever works for you. 125. So 5 to the 3rd. Y to the 9th.